In the annals of history, there lies a story that has been whispered in the quiet corners of libraries and museums, a tale of a truly forgotten king of England. This story is not filled with grandeur, but it is a testament to the power of resilience and the enduring spirit of a man whose reign was overshadowed by larger than life monarchs. This is the story of Edward the Elder, the forgotten king who forged a path of unity and prosperity for his realm. In the early 10th century, the land that would become England was a fractured collection of kingdoms, each ruled by its own monarch. Amongst these, the name Edward the Elder is often a mere footnote, lost in the shadow of his famous father, Alfred the Great. Edward was not born to the throne, but destiny had other plans. He ascended to the throne of Wessex in 1899, a kingdom in the southern part of what we now call England. His reign, though humble in its beginnings, would lay the foundation for a unified England. When Edward took the throne, England was a divided land. The Vikings had been raiding the coasts for generations, and the Viking king Guthrum held the eastern lands. Edward's first task was to unite his kingdom, which was no small feat. He was relentless in his efforts, winning battles and forging alliances, and he succeeded in reclaiming land from the Vikings. But his ambition extended beyond that. Edward had a vision of united England, a land where all people could live in harmony. He pursued this dream with a vigor that would have made his father Alfred proud. Edward's reign was marked by relentless campaigning, and he extended his rule to Mercia, Northumbria, and East Anglia, uniting these regions under the banner of Wessex. Edward was not a conqueror in the traditional sense. He believed in forging alliances and building a stronger, united front. His approach was as much about diplomacy as it was about warfare, and he earned the loyalty of many by granting them self-rule and respecting their local customs. A king's oath is often measured not just by the extent of his lands, but also by his wisdom and benevolence. Edward was a true exemplar of this. He was not content with merely ruling his domains. He sought to bring about prosperity and enlightenment. Edward was a patron of learning and culture. He invited scholars and philosophers to his court, and the period of his rule saw a revival in learning. Libraries were established, and scribes worked diligently to preserve knowledge. Edward was not just a king. He was a protector of the realm's heritage and a promoter of education. Despite his accomplishments and his vision of united England, Edward the Elder's name was slowly eclipsed by history. His successor, Aethelstan, often takes the credit for the establishment of the first kingdom of England, even though it was Edward who had paved the way. Edward's death in 924 marked the end of an era. The vision he had for England was carried forward by his successors, but his name gradually faded onto the obscurity, and he became the truly forgotten king of England. The story of Edward the Elder may have been buried beneath the sands of time, but history has a way of bringing hidden gems to the surface. In recent years, archaeologists and historians have been piecing together the life and reigns of this truly forgotten king. Excavation at ancient sites have revealed clues about his rule. Coins bearing his likeness have been unearthed, and ancient manuscripts have been disappeared, shedding light on his reign. Slowly but surely, Edward's story is emerging from the shadows. As the world rekindles its interest in Edward the Elder, his legacy is being celebrated. His vision of a united England, his patronage of learning and culture, and his relentless efforts to build a strong, prosperous realm have been recognized. Edward's story has become an inspiration, a reminder that even the most overlooked individuals in history can have a profound impact. Museums now feature exhibitions dedicated to his life and reign, and scholars are exploring his contributions to the world of knowledge. The story of Edward the Elder, the truly forgotten King of England, serves as a testament to the enduring power of human spirit and determination. In an age of turmoil, he stood as a beacon of hope and unity. His vision of a united England has transcended the centuries and is a legacy for all time. In his pursuit of a greater good, Edward found his immortality. He may have been truly forgotten for a time, but his story has once again found its place in the annals of history. His name is no longer whispered in obscurity, but celebrated as a symbol of determination and vision. So, the next time you hear the tale of England's kings, remember Edward the Elder, the forgotten king who forged a path of unity and prosperity. His story is a reminder that even the most humble beginnings can lead to greatness, and that the legacy of a truly forgotten king can live on, inspiring generations to come.